I'm dripping junket. How you doing, everyone? Ralphy here, Ralphy's Reviews, Team No Steep. Today we're going to do a review. We're going to do two bits of hardware in one review. We're going to look at the Subzero Shorty style mod. These are clones that we've just got in. And the Subzero RDA. Now, I got sent these as samples weeks ago, and I liked them so much that we now stock them, and they just sell out like overnight. I've had to order a shed full, which is good. They're absolutely bob on. Really good bits of kit. I've never come across the Subzero Sub Ohm Innovations stuff at all. I'd heard of it, I've seen pictures of it, but I've never owned even a clone like these. So there's a few little innovations in there that make them very interesting, and this works amazingly well. I've sent pictures and spoken to people who own the authentics, and this is as close as you're going to get at a fraction of the cost. It just compares. It truly is a one-to-one clone of the original thing. And if, like me, you've got bills to pay and other commitments, it's a really affordable solution. It's honestly, it's absolutely a joy to use. I'll have a quick vape. We'll get close up. I'll show you both parts, how they're built, how they come apart, how the switch works, how the RDA works. There's a couple of lovely little features in there. Chuck a build in, wick it up, come back up top and talk about the vape. See you in a minute. Okay, so snazzy boxes, really snazzy boxes, which is nice. And inside we've got your mod, unsurprisingly, and your dripper. Yeah. So that's good. In with the dripper, you get a quite difficult to pull out insert. It's got a little string on there. This one wasn't showing, but you get a few spares. You get some pre-made coils, which I wouldn't touch with a shitty stick. You get some Allen grub screws. You get a little tool, a U-tool, which we'll look at in a minute. Some spare O-rings. Then you get two Allen keys. Yeah. And a little 510 adapter, should you wish to use your standard sort of 510, which I never use. So let's go on, have a look at the mod. I'm really liking these. Right, so we have got not a hybrid, we've got an adjustable silver plated 510. It's got a reverse thread on it, so if your battery catches it while you're screwing it on, it's going to get tighter, not looser, which is always good. It's not always unscrewing and rattling about. And that obviously pushes on that silver plated pin that contacts the underside, the positive connection on your chosen atomizer. All made of copper. Finish on it is absolutely superb. It's some kind of paint, obviously. I don't know if it's some posh coating. Mine's not worn off in the few weeks I've been using it, although I do treat my gear like a princess. Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at this switch assembly. Put that button to one side. You see that pointy pin? You've got a pointy pin set in a plastic insulator with a load of holes drilled in it. Should you have a catastrophic battery failure and it needs to vent, God forbid. And what that does, it connects with the bottom of your battery, takes it through, and then that works on this switch assembly. Now when I first saw this, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what have they done? What is it? Is it something that the clone people have decided works? Is it a copy of the authentic? Well, it is a copy of the authentic. You've got this disc they're split into 4. It's got an O-ring holding it together and a little tapered dimple in the top, and that pushes on that spike when you push the button, and it spreads it out. Look. I'm hoping the camera picks it up and I don't ping it everywhere while I'm trying to show you it on camera. Let's just pop it back together. So you've got this 4-way disc that spreads when you apply pressure to that dimple, and then that makes contact with this inside edge. I'll show you. Look, I'll put the spring on. That sits kind of like that when it's all together, and then when you press on the button, it spreads it out, touches the inside of that, and fires it, which is bang on, you know. Nothing's going through the spring, nothing's going through the button itself, which is just a plastic thing with a logo on. I don't know how faithful to the authentic that is, but it's more than up to the job, and it's so easy to put together. Just drop it together like that, pop that on, tighten it up, check it works. Yeah, very little action. An interesting thing I found with the one that I've been using for so long is that if you over adjust your 510 here, make that too long, it's going to put pressure on this and push it out a little bit, which will affect your throat. If you get to the stage where your switch doesn't work anymore, just get something like your pliers with a plastic grip on, or the table if you must, and just push that down again. Push that pin back through so it's just proud like that is, look. And the job will be a good one. It's faultless. There's so little to go wrong. I'm guessing that O-ring sooner or later might give way on the switch bit on that disc thing, but it's just an O-ring, you know. Get another O-ring. Probably one of the spares is probably bob on for it. So that's the switch. That's amazing to me. I wasn't sure how well it would work, but it works incredibly well. We'll pop the atomizer on just to show you this connector. So obviously that screws on, yeah, and once it's in place, what you then need to do is get your tube, pop your battery in, and then screw it all together. What you're aiming for is just as that gap starts to close up, I can feel that now touching the battery, and that's probably a bit too much. That would fire if it was a build in it, but that's fugly. So we'll just adjust that a little bit, and hopefully I'll have it about right if I turn it the right way, left-handed thread. So we'll pretend that we're trying to undo it. There you go. Bob's your jolly old. What could be easier? You know, you're soon going to get the hang of adjusting that. It's absolutely spot on. So great mod, works really well. Dead simple. It's not many moving parts, nice and adjustable, superbly made out of solid copper, and a beautiful finish. Work with any chosen device, any chosen atomizer. So that's job done. Number one, fantastic. Now we'll take a look at the dripper, yeah? Okay. So here's the dripper. Lovely looking bit of kit. There's a few little idiosyncrasies. Right, we'll take this chuff cap out. Really like it. And this doesn't pull off. You can't pull the top off. It's held captive. Look, I'll show you. We'll slide it out and pull it out the top. If you can see, there's two little tabs there, and they locate into these little recesses on the deck, which gives you a stop for your airflow control. So you can't fit it this way, you can't fit it that way, it won't have it. You have to push it in from above, yeah, like that, which I really like. The only downside is when you first build it up and you want to sort it out, you have to screw this naked deck, whoever misses, onto your device, and then you can work away. You can fit your coils, you can wick it up and get it test fired off and all that. You can do all of that. That said, it's not too much of an encumbrance, if that's even a word. And I use one of these. I use this Pilot Vape e-cig tester to build on. Great deck. It's got everything. It's got a really reliable ohms meter, and it's even got a firing option with a button there. I don't think the camera will pick them up. The battery's about gone in it. They're quite a low bill, so you're screwing it off and on anyway. Yeah. Well, let's take a closer look. So, remember this strange U-shape thing? Let's get one I prepared earlier out. In fact, no, we'll get the one out of here. This RDA is going to my lad, so Joe Pickles won't mind if I open his bag. What this is for is the very bottom of the deck is a separate piece. Yeah, it stands right off the rest of the deck. The idea is that it gives you a good heat insulation, and then you've got your 510 sits in a lovely insulator, and it's solid brass, so it's great. It really is great. It's not adjustable, but it stands proud. It screws up firm, and then it makes contact obviously with the underside of that deck. Now you might want to polish this from time to time when you're doing your maintenance, just to keep that conductivity at its utmost. I've not had to do mine in 2 weeks. It's like a train, so I don't see that being a problem, and it does help. It doesn't get too hot, you know. I run really low builds and I've not had a problem with it overheating. Then we've got a 2-post design, which is ever popular nowadays. Gives you loads of room to work off, and we've got the airflow going through. You see how they're threaded? You get these grub screws. You get 2 grub screws with it that roll about on the desk there. So you can block one off if you run one coil. You've got a spare. You could block them both off, but you won't be able to use it. It's really, really clever and great. It's good and chunky. Everything works lovely. Threads are good. Screws are good. That's a great deck. Plenty of room. But look at the main body, the top cap, the sleeve, whatever you want to call it. It really is a nice fit. The O-rings hold it lovely, and then we've got that adjustable airflow. I'll just get that to clip into place in that recess. So we've got that adjustable airflow from closed to wide open, then it hits a stop. So it stays where you put it, and you can't go too far. Really, really nice. And it's all topped off with a lovely plastic chuff cap that helps to keep it cool, gives you a nice draw. You could change it for one of your own choice if you prefer not to use that, or use the adapter that comes with it. So it's great. It really is a great bit of kit. Here's how I build mine. I'm not going to do a build, but I'll show you. I've got my deck with these 2 coils with a dual coil 20 gauge. I think this is Hotwire's KMA, and I leave the coils quite high off those air rolls because I want plenty of action. I want plenty of airflow. Yeah, there's a little knack when it comes to wicking, which we'll look at. I like the cotton bacon. I also like native wicks in this, but we'll use cotton bacon. So we'll tear off a strip and we'll roll him up to a little point, and then we'll feed him in and pull him so that's just firming up now. Yeah, like that. Let me get some scissors, bear with. We'll just, what I do is trim it off just past the deck, so about there, probably a bit longer than you'd think you'd need. Spin him round. And struggle on camera to do the other one, bless me. Just get him firm, yeah, pull him back a bit, fluff him up, trim him off, lovely. Now, because of that top sleeve main body tube bit that doesn't pull straight off the top, we need to fit it up a little differently to normal, so we'll fluff that up. Or those of you that do use rebuildable tanks are really familiar with this. Fluff him up, do the old bunny ears, then push your deck on all the way down, get him lined up, and look at that, what a mess, yeah, but it's no big deal. What I like to do is just uncover a coil like that one, and then just tuck those ends in. There's a post and a coil. It's a bit like archaeology, look. Tuck them down, not too far. I'm not looking to hit the deck, I'm just looking to fill that top bit out. It's almost like a bow tie wicking method. In fact, I do use the bow tie at times in this. So we've got coils that stand quite high, and we've filled that space out with wick, but we're not too fussed about hitting the deck. And we know that those holes in there that lead to the airflow are unrestricted. We know that the cotton's sitting right next to the coil, so it's going to wick like a mofo. And we know that the coils are good and clear, so it's going to produce plenty of cloud and flavour. Job's a good one. There you go. So that is the Sub Ohm Competition RDA clone. Lovely, lovely bit of kit. And the Sub Ohm Shorty style mod. Lovely, lovely bit of kit. We'll go back up the top. I'll have a vape, and I'll see you in a minute. So there you go. Yeah, a little bit different here and there, but it certainly surprised me with the performance. You know, I'm slowly coming back round to this non-hybrid 510. I've had me Limitless and me Avid Lives and all that for forever now, and it just seems a bit counterintuitive. You think it's not going to hit hard, you think it's going to be a bit lacking, but it's alright, it does it, look. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. The finish, the build quality, the styling, the ergonomics of it, the functionality of it, it is bob on. I really, really like it. The one critique, if you like, is because of the bottom fed air. Like all bottom feeds, like your Kennedys, etc, etc, etc. If you over drip it, you're going to get a bit juicy, but that's just common sense. Other than that, it's bob on. It really is bob on. You know, it produces the goods every time. As regular viewers all know, I've not always treated myself as well as I could. And in the winter I suffer a little bit with the old piano player's hands, get a bit sore. But this, perfect. The button action's just straight on. It's really light action. I could do it with my little finger, you know, which for me is good, and it's a great vape. There's plenty of room on that deck, on the dripper, to do whatever you like, really. Plenty of options as well with the two holes that you can close off. You put a grub screw in, you can run a single coil, you could run a single coil and have them both open. You can do your turny airflow control to lock it right down through to wide open, which is how I run it. It's just good. It's a winner chicken dinner. It's a lovely looking combo that will get you on the steam train to Flavour Town. Definitely recommend it. I'll put a link in to ours, obviously. I'll put a link into our Facebook group as well if you want to come and join us on there. Me, Liz and some of the other family members have got together and got this little group going. Non-judgmental, obviously, and we have a bit of a crack in that. It's a good community, very supportive, knowledgeable member base. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. And remember people, smoking kills, vaping saves lives. Which do you choose? Have a good one. See you later.